What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We get to talk a little bit more about strength training and exercise selection, especially as this time of year approaches. New Year's Eve resolutions, people getting back into shape, people getting back to the gym, doing whatever you can do. And I can only hope that people are getting back into the gym nowadays. It's been a tough year for everybody. And one of the things we try to promote is just better health in general, keeping your body strong, your immune system strong. And there's absolutely a definitive correlation between being healthier and being more resilient to illnesses in your body. And COVID-19 is no different. So definitive research to support getting healthier and stronger can absolutely help mitigate your effects if you do become exposed to something like this. So, that's all I'll say about that. Ultimately, what I wanted to do is talk a little bit about helping you design your program and exercise, well, not exercise selection, but more intensity selection. We've talked ad nauseum about different exercises that you can choose and how certain exercises can be beneficial for certain parts of your body and what to do to make yourself stronger. Now I want to talk about how can you kind of dial in and hone your approach to strength training and exercising. And it's more than just going out there and saying, oh, let's just see what exercises are available. Let me just try this weight. I know 3 sets of 10 is something that's really common and really frustrating in my profession, because if there's no method to the madness, if there's no intelligent design, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. You have to have some purpose to your workouts, because exercising is about strengthening your muscles and your tendons, right? Making your connective tissue stronger. Well, surprise, surprise, you've got to do it a very specific way in order to make changes to your body. If you're not using enough weight or enough resistance, if it's not challenging enough for your body, you're really going to be getting diminishing returns. You're not going to stimulate much of a change in that tissue. So instead of getting all the bang for your buck and getting the return on investment that you want for all that sweat equity, you're actually only putting more mechanical stress on the tissue, so increased risk of injury with less return on investment. So it's just not in your favor to go too light. And, we don't want to, dictate too much for people, but a lot of people tell us, I lift and I just don't seem to be getting stronger. I don't make that many changes. And, one of the first things you can do is understand intensities. You have to specifically target muscles at a certain intensity in order to stimulate change. So there's something called Prelims Chart, and we'll try and throw it up in this blog as well with the write-up. And Prelims Chart basically talks about a certain percentage of your 1 repetition maximum. So the theory behind the 1 rep max is that's the maximum amount of weight that you can move for 1 rep in a specific exercise. Okay, that's your 1 rep max. It's in the name. So from that data, we can work backwards and choose a certain percentage of that 1 rep max, a certain percentage of that weight, and we'll use that to determine how many sets and reps will you end up doing. What is the total rep range that you'll end up doing? And that's the science behind it. Again, people much smarter than us a long time ago did all the legwork. They were the ones that did all the research and figured out, sorry, I had an itch. They were the ones who figured out all the ins and outs of which exercise, what weight should you be using, how many sets, how many reps, how much rest in between, and things like that. And so, whether you're going for pure raw strength, the world's strongest people competitions, or if you're going for just that strong, hard physique and you want to get, stronger and bigger muscles, or if you just want to be stronger for your activity or your sport, you really need to have a purpose behind it. And it really helps you if you have some idea of your 1 rep max or an idea of the amount of weight that your body can physically handle, and you work backwards from that. It's just really smart, really, really simple. So again, that's called Prelims Chart. We'll definitely throw it up. And another great concept to use is RPE and Reps in Reserve. So RPE is rate of perceived exertion. So what is the effort level I'm putting into this exercise? That'll help dictate what exercises, what weights you should be using. And then also Reps in Reserve. When you finish that exercise, when you finish that set, how many more reps did you have in the tank? How many more could you have done, if somebody was forcing you to do it and you were, somebody was screaming at you and you had all your adrenaline going, how many more reps could you have finished, before you rack the weight? So those 2 things will also help dictate, what you should be doing in the gym and how much weight you should be using. So, if it's still not clear, definitely give the blog post a little bit of a look, read it over. If you have any questions, obviously reach out to us. But ultimately, that's what it comes down to. So let's stop spinning the wheels. You're getting into the gym this year. You're getting fit. 2021 is going to be my year, because 2020, I just took them all again. But it's really important to understand what you're doing and put some method to the madness.